Welcome to the predicted starting 11. Saints travel up to Wigan in the FA Cup quarter final with a new manager and with a new hope. So last week, more or less, most of us called for 4-4-2, and lo and behold, Pellegrino persists with a 4-2-3-1 defensive, conservative, safe, you'd think was safe football. But we saw one of the worst performances in recent history, and deservedly Pellegrino lost his job on Monday afternoon. So a lot of you were close last week then with the calls for Josh Sims or Gabbiadini, neither of them in the starting 11. Here's who got close, but also a big shout out to David Ketley for the pronunciation of Carrillo. So Hughes has been in the door then since Thursday morning, and after a bit of research, apparently he likes a 4-2-3-1. Who'd have thought? We're back to square one. But he did try a 3-4-3 in his latter stages with Stoke. So this week could be anyone's guess. Starting off then in the sticks then with Alex McCarthy. Despite Hughes coming in and perhaps bringing a boost to the other players in the squad, I'm still not sure Fraser Forster's got what it takes to displace Alex McCarthy right now. And into the back four then, again, I think it's an easy one this week with Cedric Suarez as right back, with Jack Stevens and Wesley Hu as the centre backs, and Ryan Bertrand once again captaining the side at left back. Now Yoshida, he's back in training this week, but I don't think he's going to be ready, and he's still apparently a doubt. He's looking at a return for the West Ham game. But, you know, last week it was shambolic, but it's a fresh slate for everybody. Assuming that Mark Hughes will be playing a 4-2-3-1, the two defensive midfielders for me, I'm going to go with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg with Oriol Romeo. Now, first of all, Højbjerg was the only player for me that showed a bit of passion and a bit of spirit and really stuck that knife into his teammates last week in his post-match interview. I want to see more of that from him again this week. I think he should be a stay and a staple in the 11 moving forward. Romeo lost his place last week at Newcastle to Mario Lemina. He was shambolic, but it is a fresh slate for everybody, and it all depends on how they are impressing Mark Hughes on the training pitch. So who knows? Into the attacking trio then. First of all, on the right hand side, I'm going to go with Nathan Redmond. Now, I've seen him in the video clips this week on the training videos, speaking to Mark Hughes on the training pitch, and probably telling him about all of the time this season where Pellegrino's given him shackles and given him handcuffs and not giving him the freedom to get forward. We obviously know he's got a bit of talent. He's starting to pick up a bit of confidence once again, and hopefully Hughes gives him the freedom to get forward and express himself this week. Across into the middle then, in the number 10, and for me, I'm going to go for James Ward-Prowse. Now, he's playing on the right this season so far, but I think his best position is in that number 10 behind the striker as a playmaker. Now, by all means, I think Mark Hughes does like a playmaker behind the striker, and I think Ward-Prowse give him the freedom to do that, and he can certainly deliver it. Now, we rely on his dead balls abilities from set pieces, from free kicks, and Wigan will defend their lives again against a Premier League side. So we've got to be right up for it and get those deliveries to find somebody in the box. On the left-hand side then of the attacking trio, I'm going to go for Sofiane Boufal. Now, a bit of a gamble here, but Mark Hughes does love a flair player. He done that with Shaqiri at Stoke City. Now, I think if Sofiane Boufal is managed properly, and hopefully Mark Hughes can do that, you will get the best out of Boufal. He's obviously got skills in abundance, and given the freedom to express himself. Like Redmond and like a few other players this season, Pellegrino has been given the shackles to players this season. Give Boufal a free roam around the pitch and see him work some magic. And finishing off the starting 11 then, I'm going to go for Manolo Gabbiadini. Now, might be a bit of a cop-out, but we have been calling for him over the last few weeks. Now, again, like a few others, this is a fresh start for Gabbiadini. Now, hopefully Hughes has done a bit of homework to realise that Gabbiadini is the most influential striker and a better goals return recently. Give him the chance to get forward, get the right deliveries to him, because that's ultimately what he has been starved of this season. I think Carrillo could come off the bench for this one and actually been given the instructions to see the game off as your target man. Charlie Austin also in the news this week that he's looking for a return for the West Ham game, and that would be absolutely huge if he can get back fit enough in time for that game at the end of the month. That wraps it up then for this week's predicted starting 11. Saints are travelling up to Wigan in the FA Cup quarter final. A new hope and a fresh start for a lot of players this week under Mark Hughes. Who will he start? It's anyone's guess. Let me know your teams in below. Who would you start for the FA Cup game this weekend?